Hey everyone, Nick with VanUp here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install the VanUp Razor Rack spare tire carrier on the back of your ProMaster or your Ford Transit. Just a quick disclaimer, please make sure to watch the entirety of this video before installing this product. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call or email us at sales@vanupoffroad.com. If you do get to a point where this installation might just be a little bit too much, feel free to check out one of our installation centers in Davis, California or Mesa, Arizona. So when you open up the box, you're gonna have your mounting plate here. You're gonna have your tire carrier, 2 pieces, and then you're gonna have some wheel studs, and you're gonna have a hardware kit here. Another simple installation. You can do this in your garage, driveway, and all we're gonna use today is the 11/16 box wrench, 5/8 box wrench, 9/16 box wrench. We're gonna use a 3/4 inch drive ratchet, a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, so a 19mm socket, 1/2 inch drive, a 7/32 Allen, and just a regular old hammer. First step in getting this onto your van is gonna be taking these mounting pins right here, these studs, and we're gonna actually hammer these into our plate that's gonna hold the tire up. So I would recommend putting this on a soft surface, but just enough where you have some leverage here, where you can get the pin down, driven through the hole. I do recommend using like a microfiber cloth, a towel. I'm using this table here that has a tablecloth on it, so we'll be good to go, no scratches. So your hardware kit's gonna include 4 of these. We're only gonna use 3. The reason there's 4 is because we also use these for the Ford Transit, which would require 4. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one off to the side. We're gonna remove the lug nuts off of the pin. And basically, we're just gonna put it into place, align it. And I'm gonna put some pressure on the left side here, on the inner. And I'm just gonna hammer this down up until the head here, and you'll feel it go through. You'll know when you're there. So you'll end up with a result like that. And now I'm just gonna repeat this 2 more times. I'm gonna let my stud through the hole. We're lined up. You can hold it down where it's not gonna fall. And onto our last stud. So after hammering those in, you should end up looking just like this. You wanna have about that much length. And you want your heads to sit right there on the mount. So now that we have our studs hammered into place where we need them, we're gonna go ahead and set this aside for now. Now we're gonna grab this plate here, and this is gonna sit flush right onto your mount. So we have 3 different positions you can put this in on your mounting plate because of the slots here. So we have the lower position, we have an upper position, and we have a center position. Generally, we'll mount it in the center, but it's completely preference, and it's totally up to whatever you have on the back of your van. So now that we've put this where we want it, we're gonna go ahead and take our bolt with a washer, and we're gonna run it through the holes there, and we're just gonna make sure it's all lined up. So now we're gonna lift this plate up on its side, keeping those bolts into place, and we're gonna go with our washer, lock washer, and nut, and we're just gonna do this hand tight to begin until we get them all on there, and then we can tighten everything down. So now that we have our nuts hand tight on the back, we're gonna go ahead and take our 5/8 for the front of the bolt, and we're gonna take our 11/16 and tighten down the nut on the back all the way. All right, so now everything is tightened down. We're gonna go ahead and flip this back over. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but one way to know that this is the direction it needs to be in, this piece is gonna be your top, and it's gonna be open on the bottom. Now we're gonna take this piece right here, and we're just gonna line this thing up. It's a little wider than this piece, so it's just made to fit just like that. And then the nice part about it is it's slotted on all 3 sides so that you can adjust to your wheel's offset, and I'll show you exactly where we usually fit them up for a ProMaster. So now we're just gonna raise this up right about here where the 2 slots overlap. We're gonna put our bolt through with a washer, and then just like we did on this plate, we're gonna take a washer, lock washer, and a nut, and we're just gonna run it inside there and keep everything hand tight. And then we're just gonna repeat the process here on the top. Get your bolt there. Washer, lock washer, nut. And last but not least, our third side. Throw that bolt straight through there. Washer, lock washer, nut. And now that everything's hand tight, everything's aligned where we want it, we can go ahead and tighten everything down. Same thing as before. We're gonna go 5/8 on the head, and we're gonna do 11/16 on the nut. In the center here, you are gonna need to use a socket, an 11/16 with an extension just to get to that nut inside. But other than that, pretty good with just box wrenches or a ratcheting socket wrench. So now that our spare tire carrier is nice and secure on here, everything is tight, we're gonna go ahead and put the entire mounting plate on the Razor rack using our mounting hardware that's found in the box. So I just put my mounting bolts through the top slots here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and place this up through the holes on the Razor rack itself. And I'm gonna take my serrated nut, and I'm just gonna go hand tight on these until I get the rest of them in. Once I have them all in there, I'm gonna just go ahead and tighten down the bolt outside, and then we'll be ready to put our spare tire on there. So again, I'm just gonna take my bolt with a washer on it, run it through the channel there. And I'm gonna take my serrated nut on the back end, get it hand tight. Repeat here, and then once we have these in there hand tight, we'll go ahead and tighten everything down the whole way. So just like our other Razor rack accessories, we're just gonna take a 7/32 Allen on the front end, and then we're gonna take a 9/16 to just hold everything in place on the back. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten these down all the way. So now that the tire carrier is mounted securely to the Razor rack, it's time to put our spare tire on there and then tighten it down with these lug nuts here, and these are 19mm. So now I'm gonna take my 1/2" drive ratchet and my 19mm socket, and I'm gonna go ahead and straighten this wheel out, and I'm gonna tighten everything down. So now that we have everything tightened down, we can go ahead and torque it to 75 foot-pounds of torque. So this concludes our installation for the VanUp Razor Rack spare tire carrier. If you do feel like this installation is a little bit too much, you want to have a professional shop install this for you, give us a call at our Mesa, Arizona location or our Davis, California location, and we will help you out. Thanks for watching.